Hello everyone, I welcome you to this channel once again. I'm so excited to have you here. So today I would like us to talk about the four components we made mention in our previous episode. So in our previous episode we made mention of the land, we also made mention of the financials, we also made mention of the legal aspect, and then also the construction. So these are the four components that we need to concentrate on when we want to go into real estate. So now today in this episode we want to talk about one of them, which has to do with the land. So now basically the land, before we talk much about it, I would like us to go into history to learn a little bit about how real estate even began. So real estate literally started in the 19th century, so or gradually to the 20th century, where home ownership gradually increased significantly. And in 1908, the National Association of Realtors was established in Chicago, and this was meant to boost the activities of the real estate business. So in this state, it took a series of revolutionary changes, where flipping of houses, investing in properties, and even now online sales and rentals are taking place. Land ownership has been the basis for investment opportunities we see today. Without a stable location or population, trade between people will be very difficult, which will later affect the economic activities. So now we then have to delve into land tenure system to understand the mode of ownership that has been in existence to date. So now first of all, we have to understand what land tenure system means. So land tenure system simply means the right of someone to own a piece of land, which is being backed by policies and then laws, and where he or she determines who to use the land and under what condition to use the land and for how long the land is supposed to be used. There are several types of mode of ownership in the land tenure system. So some of them are the native title, we have the leasehold, we have the fee tail, we also have the common lands, and so on and so forth. But we'll be discussing the ones that are very common in our jurisdiction, or which are mostly used in our settings here in Ghana. So now let's first of all start with the first one. Fee simple. So fee simple is basically the type of ownership where the owner can actually sell or freely give out the property to a third party, where he or she can own it and then decide to use it whatever or however he or she wants. So he can also use that to secure a mortgage or anything of that he pleases to do with the land. On the second option, we also have, or the second type of ownership, we also have the leasehold. So now the leasehold is basically under the common and civil law, where the owner of the property can either rent or lease the property to a third party, where he or she will have rights over it within that specified number of years. So it ranges from a short term to about 99 years. Recently in Ghana, it used to be 99 years, but now they have been a constant revise, where now they give it out between a period of 50 to 70 years for the long-term lease. We have the third point. So on the third point, we have the allodial title. So allodial title is where the property is owned absolutely free and clear of any sort of superior or sovereign or any form of landlord. So this particular type of title is inalienable, where the property can be given out in terms of a gift or even to process a mortgage or anything of that sort. So yes, so now I think we have to delve into the uses of land. So basically land is being used for several purposes. So land can be used for residential properties, it can also be used for commercial properties, it can also be used for industrial properties, and even agricultural properties, recreational properties, and so on. So as the name implies, when we talk about agricultural properties, it is where land is being used to cultivate crops and also rear animals for agricultural purposes. We also now have to talk about recreational uses. So simply put, recreational uses is where the land is being used to build parks and and open areas where people can actually come and socialize. Again, also land can also be used for residential purposes. This is where you put up your residential properties, your land, your houses, your mansions, your townhouses, your apartments, and so on. But basically for people to put up their buildings to live in. Industrial uses is where land is being used for warehouses and also heavy duty machinery, where productions and then productions and then transporting and warehousing, keeping goods are being developed on such lands. So again, we have commercial use. So commercial use is also basically where land is being used to build commercial properties such as shops and anything you can actually sell from. So those are the uses of lands as well. So now we have to also understand the importance of land or the benefit that comes with land. So before we go further, I'd like us to analyze the myth that is ongoing that land is actually in short supply. Well, it might seem so to people who don't necessarily want to take the pain to get a very good land, but the actual sense is that land is always available and readily available for each and everyone once you make the effort to go in for it. Now, let's not forget what Mark Twain said. Mark Twain said, and I quote, "Buy land, for they are not making it anymore." Why did he say this? This is because land is actually a finite resources. So, in order for you to take advantage of the situation now and grab yours, you might end up losing it. That was why he said we needed to, buy it, because they are really not making land anymore. So now talking about one of the importance of land, we have to know that land always appreciates. So land is one of the commodities where when you buy and you put down, as time and days runs by, the value of that property or that land keeps on appreciating, it keeps on increasing. So that was why Will Roger once said that you needed to buy land and wait. You don't wait to buy land. So in this saying, it now explains the reason for the urgency in acquiring a property now and not later. Another importance of land is that you can actually do whatever it is that you want to do on the land. You can be as creative as possible. The only thing is that you need to make sure that you abide by the building codes and the zonal rules. Apart from the zonal rules and then the building codes, you can be as creative and do whatever it is that you want to do on your piece of land. Again, land is not prone to theft. Land as it is, it can't be stolen from you. No matter how the thief or whoever tries to steal it, it can't be possible because land cannot be moved around, or it can't be mobile. So once you buy a land, you are rest assured that the land cannot be stolen. Also, you don't necessarily need to bring resources from outside to put it in good shape in order not for it to be in its deplorable state. Land as it is in its natural state, you don't need to incur any liability in taking care of it in any way or in any form. Once you leave it the way it is in a natural state, as time goes on, it keeps on appreciating and its value. So another importance or advantage of buying land is that land is relatively affordable as compared to buying an already developed property. So if you are able to make a very good choice in your location selection, trust me, you are going to benefit or you reap a lot of advantage in some in some few years to come. And once you choose a very good location, you would definitely make a lot of returns on your investment. So now that we have understood the importance and benefits of the land, I'd like us to come down to the physical characteristics of it, especially in Ghana here. So in Ghana, lands were then sold in plots and with a size of 100 feet by 100 feet. So it has been gradually revised to 100 by 70 feet, which is now the standard size for a plot. Some people even give as low as 70 by 80 feet. So now, this being the size of a full plot in Ghana, we have to now understand who has the right to sell those lands. So basically, lands are being owned by chiefs, which are termed as two lands, and also families, which are said or termed as family lands. We also have some lands which are being owned by government, and then some individuals as well. So companies and individuals can also actually buy from these two lands, or these chiefs, or these families, and later resell it to citizens or foreigners that comes to the country. So knowing this dynamics, we now understand, or we now know who to contact if you want to buy your land. So now I can also be of an assistance to you in purchasing your land. I can help you with the documentation. I can help you with my expertise in how to acquire a land where you won't be be duped in any way or in any form. So I'm so thankful for you staying with me all this while, and I would say a very big thank you